For most of us, ChatGPT is basically just a smarter, fancier Google, right? A place to get quick answers and search the web. But if that's all you're doing with it, you are missing out on some incredibly powerful features.
And honestly, probably 90% of people don't even know these other features exist, which is a shame, because when you learn to use them right, man, they can seriously, seriously boost your productivity.
So the real question is, are you? Because today, we're going to bridge that gap. We're going to take you from being a casual user to a full-on ChatGPT power user.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to move beyond the basics and unlock some amazing features you can use for free. Yep, totally free. Then we'll get into privacy so you know your data is safe and sound. After that, we'll explore the perks of the paid version, and you'll want to stick around for a bonus hack for Apple users that will turn your phone into an absolute genius assistant.
All right, let's kick things off with the free version because you really don't need to spend a dime to get access to some truly game-changing features. First on our list, custom GPTs.
The easiest way to think about these is like specialized little apps that run right inside of ChatGPT. For example, you can use the Canva GPT. You just ask it to design a YouTube thumbnail, and it'll spit out a bunch of designs you can then open and edit directly in Canva. It's a super seamless workflow.
Okay, another killer-free tool is Canvas mode. Now, you know how it used to be, right? If you wanted to change just one tiny word in a long piece of text, you had to ask ChatGPT to regenerate the whole thing. Super annoying. But now with Canvas, you can just jump right in and edit the text directly. It really feels like they're collaborating on a Google Doc, but with the AI.
And then there's voice mode, which is, wow, it literally lets you talk with ChatGPT like it's another person. And this is not just for dictating your prompts. No, you can have a full-on conversation. Imagine this. You could use it to practice for a job interview and get real-time feedback on your answers right there on the spot. How cool is that?
Okay, so with all this amazing power, of course, the big question comes up, what about privacy? I know a lot of people are hesitant to use AI because they're worried about their data. So let's get into how you can take back control. All right, the absolute easiest way to protect your privacy is by using something called temporary chat. Just think of it like incognito mode for your web browser. When you switch it on, that conversation isn't saved to your history, and, this is key, the data isn't used to train the model. It's perfect if you're working with sensitive info or maybe even personal photos that you definitely don't want stored anywhere. But what if you want a more permanent privacy shield? Well, you can stop your chats from being used for model training altogether. It's super simple, just 3 steps in your settings. You go to Data Controls, and you just toggle off the option that says Improve the model for everyone. Boom, done.
Really, this all comes down to finding the right balance for you. You can fine-tune your privacy even more by turning off memory and chat history. Now, this gives you maximum privacy for sure, but there is a trade-off. ChatGPT won't remember anything from your past conversations, so you do lose some of that convenience, and you might have to repeat yourself a bit.
Okay, so the free version is already packed with incredible features. But if you're sitting there wondering, is that $20 a month subscription actually worth it? Well, let's take a look. This is where ChatGPT goes from being a powerful tool to becoming a true personal assistant. So the paid version basically brings 3 huge upgrades to the table. You get Vision, which lets the AI see and understand images. You get Projects to keep all your chats organized. And you get Tasks to automate your routine stuff. Let's break each of those down real quick.
First up, Vision. And this feature it's just incredibly powerful. For instance, you could feed it a screenshot of your calendar and just ask, hey, find me some open slots for a project. Or you can use your phone's camera right in the app, point it at something, like a Logitech mouse, and ask ChatGPT to identify it for you. It literally understands what it's seeing.
Next up, we have Projects, and this one is all about getting organized. Seriously, think of them like folders. Instead of that one long, kind of chaotic list of every single conversation you've ever had, you can create separate projects for different things. Like one for your travel plans to Korea and a totally separate one for your YouTube channel scripts. It just keeps everything neat and tidy.
And finally, we've got Tasks. This feature is a game changer for automation. For example, you could just tell ChatGPT, hey, give me a summary of the latest AI news every morning at 8 a.m. And it'll just do it. It'll go out, find the info, and push it to you. This kind of thing can save you hours every week by handling all those repetitive research tasks for you.
And speaking of assistants, quick question for all the Apple users out there. Ever wish your phone's assistant was just, smarter?
Well, guess what? For all you Apple users, there's a pretty sweet way to make that happen. You can actually integrate ChatGPT directly with Siri and give your phone a major intelligence boost. Okay, so first things first, you will need an iPhone 15 Pro or a newer model for this to work. But the setup itself is really straightforward. You just pop into your settings, enable Apple Intelligence first. From there, you just find the extensions menu and flick on the ChatGPT integration.
So once that's all enabled, here's how it works. If you ask Siri something it can't handle, it'll automatically pass that request over to ChatGPT. Or you can just call on it directly. You can say, "Hey Siri, ask ChatGPT to write me a YouTube script." It'll generate the response right there, and you can even save the whole thing straight into your Apple Notes. So cool.
And there you have it. Look, whether you stick with the free version or decide to go paid, there are just so many features that can completely transform how you work, how you learn, how you create. You're not just a casual user anymore, you're officially a pro.
So let's do a quick recap of your new toolkit. You now know how to use these awesome free power-ups like custom GPTs and Canvas. You know how to lock down your privacy with temporary chat and data settings. You know all about the game-changing pro features like Vision and Tasks. And for all you Apple folks, you can even supercharge Siri.
So now that you're armed with all this knowledge, really the only question left is, which one of these powerful new features are you going to try out first? Go on, dive in, get your hands on them, and see what you can create.